As a popular tourist destination, it's little surprise that Palma Mallorca Airport is one of the busiest in Spain. And today my journey begins right here in Palma. I need to head to Madrid to catch another flight. To get there, I'll be taking Iberia Express, the low-cost airline which is a subsidiary of Iberia, the national airline. Before we get on board, let's go and check out what the terminal has to offer.
Welcome to Edgington Airborne. Let's get going. Palma Airport is around 5 miles from the island's capital, and the current main terminal opened in 1997. Ordinarily, I tend to race through check-in and security as quickly as I can, but if you have time, do make sure to visit the large terrace which you'll find just before heading airside. After security and the obligatory walk through duty free, you'll find yourself in the main departures area. From there you'll need to check which of the 4 modules your flight will depart from. For my UK viewers heading home, that will usually be Module A, but my flight to Madrid departs from Module D. No matter which part of the terminal you use though, you will find a range of shops and restaurants on offer.
So, quick trip around Palma Airport today. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. The only negative I'd say about it really is it's incredibly warm in here, and that seems to be the case every time I come through. Yes, I know it's hot outside, but I thought the air conditioning would be better. Anyway, let's go and get on board the aircraft and head to Madrid.
So, as we begin our journey from the beautiful island of Mallorca, let's learn a little about the airline. And Iberia Express began operations in 2012, connecting a number of European cities with Madrid, and in turn long-haul flights operated from the hub by Iberia themselves. All Iberia Express flights are flown on the A320 family aircraft, and plans are in place to add the A321neo to the fleet. Of course, as a low-cost airline, fares with Iberia Express are for the most part very competitive. There are frequent flights between Mallorca and Madrid daily, and my flight cost €49 in total. Of course, this was for the cheapest fare class, and adding things like luggage would increase the price. With the money out the way, let's take a look at the cabin, and the Iberia Express A320 seats up to 180 passengers in the usual 3-3 layout. Now, I've been on many older aircraft before, but this 17-year-old jet was in very poor condition and in desperate need of some TLC. It felt like everywhere I looked on this flight, I either found damage or dirt, and yes, this is a low-cost airline, but surely this can't be acceptable for paying passengers. As bad as the cabin was, at least the views were nice. Although this was a lunchtime flight and I was pretty hungry, the cleanliness of my seat area had put me off eating, but I did take a look at the Iberia Express buy on board menu, and in all fairness to the airline, the selection and prices did seem pretty reasonable.
Well, we're over mainland Spain now. We're about halfway through the flight, so now's as good a time as any to show you around the seat that you'll find on the Iberia Express A320.
As usual, I pre-selected my seat during booking, and a standard economy seat costs €7. Now, I highly recommend taller passengers paying extra for an exit seat, and you'll see why shortly. But before we get to the legroom, let's see what else the seat on Iberia Express has to offer. We'll start at the top, and as usual, this is where you'll find the literature pocket. In here you'll find a copy of the A320 safety card, the buy on board drink and snack menu, and the Rhonda in-flight magazine. To the right of the literature pocket is a coat hook, and with this particular design of Recaro seat, personal storage is not recommended in the literature pocket itself due to the exposed section at the bottom. The tray table is a relatively decent size overall and features a drink holder on the right. It is slightly adjustable, as you can see, which of course is a benefit to smaller passengers and children. Now, it's a good idea to keep your bag under the seat in front of you on this aircraft, as like many low-cost airlines such as Ryanair, there is no seatback storage provided. And the reason I recommend an exit row for taller passengers? Well, I think the video speaks for itself here. Iberia Express advertised in-flight entertainment via Wi-Fi on board, but as this was unavailable on my flight, I instead took a look at the Rhonda magazine, which has some useful information for passengers unfamiliar with Madrid-Barajas Airport. You can also take a look at the routes available both in Europe and further afield, and I made sure to use the fleet information to make notes ahead of my connecting flight on the Iberia A340 in business class. This review will of course be available soon, and make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss it. My social media accounts are where I'll be posting updates of my upcoming Emirates experience throughout the journey, and as always I must thank my fantastic patrons such as Laurie Davies for their generous support of the channel.
We're now approaching Madrid, not long left of the flight to go. Do enjoy the views on landing, and of course stick around until the end of the video to see what I thought about today's flight. So that's it, welcome to Madrid after that quick trip with Iberia Express. This is a part of the video I'll share with you my final thoughts on today's trip. Starting off in Palma, well, it's not a bad airport to be honest with you. There's certainly plenty to do for departing passengers. You can see it caters primarily to holiday makers. The one thing I would say though is, as good as certain areas were, it was very warm throughout the terminal, something to consider, and I've found that every time I've gone through there. Then we come to the flight. One thing I'd like to mention that was quite a positive on this flight today was the food and drink selection. I found it to be pretty good, and also the value for money was quite impressive as well. But sadly that's about all I have that's good to say about Iberia Express. As you'd have seen from the video, it wasn't a great flight for me personally. The cabin crew, well, they did make their way through the cabin to perform one drink service, but then they disappeared and they weren't particularly engaging with the passengers. The seat, as you'd have seen from the flight there, it was really uncomfortable for me. Now, I'm not the shortest person in the world, I'm about 6 foot tall, but I could not wait to get out of that seat and off that plane when I landed in Madrid. I was really uncomfortable. And then the overall condition of the aircraft, it left a lot to be desired as well. Not only was it dirty, but there was little bits of damage here and there, nothing major, but just enough to really put you off flying them again. And frankly, that's the mindset that I have now. I'm in absolutely no rush to fly with the airline again, sadly. Do let me know what you think of the video in the comments section. Let me know if you think I've been a little bit harsh or if you agree with me. And if you have enjoyed the video, do hit that thumbs up button, give it a like. Of course, if you haven't already, do subscribe as well to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And as always, most of all, take care.